popular Akan adage which goes like Nipa beji ni din na wa me pray ninche, which literally translates that all what we live for is the name we build and the legacy we leave on our face of this earth. But when it comes to the word of PR and reputation management, it can be very elusive, it can be tricky, it can be confusing. And therefore, today I've been able to get an expert who has been doing this for a while now with some enviable track record. So to help us understand and navigate around the world of PR and reputation management is Cynthia Ofori-Dwumfour. So if you are ready, let's get nosy.
Cynthia Ofori-Dwumfour is a communications and marketing professional who has been blessed with the opportunity to work in very many places and with multi-sectoral businesses and across the spectrum of communications and marketing. My career journey has been across a couple of continents and with people like yourself and doing very exciting things. And at this point in time, I look forward to an even more exciting future doing what I'm presently doing. So currently, I am responsible for building the reputation and influence of Hollard Ghana, which is an insurance business in Ghana that owns two companies. That's the Hollard Insurance and Hollard Life Assurance. And as a brand, we are a very vibrant brand that believes in creating and securing a better future for all. And it's my responsibility to develop strategies that would enable that purpose and that would enable us to reach out to our stakeholders in a manner that represents them, in a manner that impacts them positively. So my job is very all-round because I work with all facets of the business, and it's exciting too because I get to be the champion of the Hollard brand, which is very exciting. So yes, I wear my job on my sleeve, and that's because I think that in this job of ours, it's very important for you to live and breathe the brand that you represent. By the very role that I'm in, people look up to me to represent what the brand represents. So all the brand values, the brand outlook, I have to represent that every single time I step out. And I take it seriously. And I think that the brand really relates to my personal values. So it's very easy for me to do. Well, it's very simple because if businesses do not care about their reputation, others will create their story for them. And at this point in time, the world that we live in, it's almost a crime not to care about how your reputation is because of social media. At this point in time, if you are not in control of your story, in control of how your business is represented across many channels, it means that you're leaving yourself open for others to do that. And it's a choice. You do that and your business grows, or you ignore it and you get left behind and people will tell your stories negatively. Controlling the narrative is very important, and any company worth its salt will know that it's important to be at the forefront of their reputation and the people they influence. I think first and foremost, purpose is very important. So the purpose and the vision of the business really drives everything the business does. So if a business acknowledges what drives it in terms of business growth, in terms of value for its staff, for its stakeholders, that purpose then trickles down to the strategy we'll use for its PR and reputation management. So that's very important. It's the first thing that actually determines strategy. So the purpose, then of course, a workable strategy. Sometimes people get a bit ambitious with strategy and they tend to think that, you know, it's a whole mass or a map that goes nowhere. But the bottom line is the strategy has to make an impact. It has to start from somewhere and it has to deliver on certain goals. So it's vital that that is also considered in terms of a PR plan. And of course, a stakeholder advocacy plan. So when you have a purpose, you have a strategy that can be implemented, and you have a stakeholder advocacy plan, it means that you're able to influence within the echo chamber of the community in which you operate. And that's not just your customers, that's also employees, that's also partners, and even the physical community. So I'd say those are key ingredients: stakeholder universe, a purpose, and then a workable strategy. Everything else falls within those 3 tenets. I think they don't take it serious enough, but I think the journey has definitely begun. So in developing countries, we are not at square one, and we are not at the very first step. And that's partly because with the intervention of social media and digital, people have suddenly begun to see the value in pushing out their stories, in determining a narrative, in engaging their stakeholders across various platforms. Now, with that, what they haven't yet learned how to do is how to translate all of that work, that narrative building, into dividends that provide reputational value and business value. So I reckon that within the next couple of decades, we are learning, we are absorbing from the rest of the world. We are seeing what's working, and we're also crafting our own way. I think that people will get to the point where they are more experienced, they understand how to create that business value using PR and communications. But we're not there, but we're getting there, definitely on our way. So I think it's important that businesses first accept and understand that PR and communications is vital to the business itself. So that's the very first thing that businesses need to understand. Then when they do that, they need to incorporate communications into their actual business strategy. When they think about communications in the sense of their stakeholders, their partners, their story, their messaging, how it reflects on the actual business that they do, it enhances the business's growth within a period of time. Then also they will need to devote the resources that are important to getting this done right. So those 3 things are the things to get started. Everything else falls in place after that. Once you have the resources that can get the work done, they then will develop a strategy that is executable. And that's what's important. And then, of course, keeping in tune with the business's ultimate business strategy.